Welcome students. Today we are going to learn a very interesting topic, that is public facilities. So this chapter starts with the story of Amu and Kumar. Amu and Kumar are traveling through Chennai in a bus. As they go around the city, they observe water facilities available in different parts of Chennai. So in this chapter we are going to learn what is public facility, water and the people of Chennai. Water supply to Chennai is available to all. Water as part of fundamental right of life, the government's role, and in search of alternatives. In this chapter, four situations can be seen in four places. One is Annanagar, second is Mylapur, third is Madipakkam, and fourth is Saidapet. So one by one we will learn the stories of these places. So the first story comes from Annanagar. It is an officers' colony. Ram Gopal is one of the officers lived there. It's a green area and comfortable water supply is available. Sprayers also available. Tap waters available full day. Fast service of water also available, and no complaints regarding the water supply is there. The second story comes from Mylapur. Subramaniam is one of the residents live there. So shortage of water happens only once in 2 days. Private bore wells are there, but that delivers brackish water, not good for use. And these areas people depends on tanker water service, and they have to pay rupees 500 per month. The third story from Mandipakkam. Siva is one of the residents lived there. He got water once in 4 days, that's why he lived alone. Less use of water is there, and they use bottled water for drinking. The worst case scenario coming from the Saidapet, the fourth story of this chapter. Padma is one of the resident there. It's a slum area and no personal tap is available. One tap for 30 hearts. Water is available for only 20 minutes per day, and only 3 buckets are allowed to use. So what is public facility? Public facilities are defined as institutional responses to basic human needs such as health, education, safety, recreation and water. Who will provide public facilities? Private companies or government? And why the government and only the government must bear this responsibility? Why the government must bear this responsibility? Let's discuss government's role. Our constitution provides rights to life of every person living in this country. The responsibility to provide public facility therefore must be the responsibility of the government. The public facilities relate to people's basic needs. Private companies always try to make profit. They may charge very high for the facilities. Those facilities rich can afford, many will be neglected or deprived. That's why government's role here very important. So the public facilities provided by the government, these are transportation, electricity, health, education and water supply. What are the important characteristics of public facilities? So if these facilities once provided, benefits can be shared by many. Suppose a school, a dam, a hospital. So back in the context of the chapter, if we consider the water supply system of Chennai, then we will find there are problems in many parts of the city. First of all, great shortage of water. Water reaches only 50% of the population and regular supply only in some places. Closer to water tanks, less for distant places. Poor people suffers most. Middle class people, they depends on tanker, bottled water and tube wells. So in search of alternatives, acute shortage of water is present in Chennai, and it must be considered as failure of the government. Some people often argue that companies should take over the task of water supply. But there are many examples of private companies providing public facilities like in New Delhi where electricity distribution is in the hands of private companies. In such cases government has to put in proper checks and balances to keep the charges under a limit. So at last we can tell public facilities relate to our basic needs and Indian constitution recognizes the right to water, health, education, etc. as being a part of the right to life. Thus, one of the major roles of the government is to ensure adequate public facilities for everyone. The third story from Mandipakkam. Siva is one of the residents lived there. He got water once in 4 days. That's why he lived alone. Less use of water is there and they use bottled water for drinking.